there, happy Valentine's, everybody. Happy Friday, for those that Friday means something. Right, it doesn't really mean a whole lot for me. Part of the little spiffs of working for yourself and doing something that you love is that the days of the week don't really matter. And today is Valentine's Day. I took yesterday off from live stream and had just more of a chill, relaxed mommy day, which was definitely needed. Today, though, I just kind of want to touch on the topic of what a lot of people, men, are hoping for today. Today is I'm gonna get lucky day for a lot of guys out there. You dudes are definitely probably anticipating this. I've been kind of touching on it all week long as to the expectation around this day. You know, I was just looking back through some of my Facebook posts, and like 4 or 5 years ago, I posted on Valentine's Day, I said, I prefer March 14th, which is steak and blowjob day. Funny enough, but that's just me. It's not an expectation on that day either, but on Valentine's Day, a lot of, men, you guys do expect that sex is going to happen. And us women, we are expecting that sex is going to happen as well. Not with all the enthusiasm that you dudes are having for it. A lot of the times us women are just kind of like, well, he bought flowers, and well, he took me out for dinner, and well, he's trying so hard, and oh, it's Valentine's Day. It's kind of like the ABC Club with a little bit of V-Day in it, which means what? Anniversary, birthday, and Christmas plus Valentine's Day are the 4 times a year that women feel that they should, need to, are expected to, and must fulfill the duty of, you got it, sex. So, what's the big damn deal about sex anyway, right? I don't know. I'm a sex and relationship coach. I can't even really truly answer that for you. Like, what's the big damn deal about sex? You're either into it or you're not into it. There you go. That's how it is. And we're all into it at different points in our world, at different times of our life, at different times in a relationship. There are pieces of us that really want the sex, especially early on in the relationship, right? It's hot, it's sizzly, it's that new relationship energy. We're turned on, we're inquiring, we're learning. There's all this chemistry. It's just, there's a sizzle to it. And we want it then. We wanted that. A lot of times I hear people go, oh, well, I'm getting older, so now I don't have a sex drive. That's bullshit. That is absolute, utter bullshit. I've met plenty of older men and women that have very high sex drive still. So don't use your age as a reason as to why you're just not feeling it anymore. Perhaps there's other reasons as to why you are not wanting the sex. And the lack of desire for the sex when we are in relationship causes a hell of a lot of problems, does it not? I mean, it's actually right up there with finances as to why a lot of people break up, why a lot of relationships have the challenges that they do, why there's so much stress and anxiety, there's so much bitterness, frustration, and there's just this very toxic environment in the home fronts today, is because of sex and money. These are the 2 things that get us into trouble land in our relationships. Now, I'm basically going to be talking to all you couples out there today. Sorry, singles, but listen in, because this could be you one day, okay? So this does pertain, and if you're single and you're looking for that significant other person, then heed some of the things that's going to come out of this conscious coffee today, because if you enter into a relationship that is not lined up properly on the front side and you are jumping the gun and getting that overcommitment, well, then this is definitely a conversation that you need to listen to. Okay, so why does sex cause so many problems in life for us? Why does it cause so many problems? Sex doesn't really cause us the problems. It's not actually sex. It's kind of like money's not evil, right? Money itself is not evil. Money can be used for good or for bad. Sex can be good or it can be bad, right? It is due to people, and we're going to go very vanilla today, okay? I'm not getting off into fantasy land. I'm not talking all this other stuff. We are going very traditional right now. Okay, so two people come together and they're turned on to each other and they are in alignment in different ways, and the sex is fucking phenomenal. I didn't say I wasn't going to use the F word though. It's not that vanilla. So when we're in complete and total alignment with somebody, the sex can be phenomenal. It can be the most divine, scrumptious, yummy thing that we can ever experience. And this is what we all want. This is what we strive for. This is what, if we haven't tasted it, there's something inside of us that says, we know that it can be had like that. We know that it can be richer, it can be deeper, it can be better. And if we have experienced it, well, we just want more of it, because that's some good shit and we just want more, more, more. But what makes it not that? This is where the challenges come in, right? This is where the challenges come in. Our sex causes us so many problems, mainly because we are focused on the lack of it. Much like anything else, if we focus on money can cause us a hell of a lot of problem when we're sitting around and we're looking at the stack of bills piling up on us and the stack of debt that's happening, that we're caught up on, and we look at all the responsibilities that we have, and we're living in this worry, this dread, this fear of not having enough money. Well, then money causes us a lot of trouble, right? The same exact thing happens with our sex. When we are focused on our sex, are we focusing in on good stuff of it, or are we focusing in on the lack of it? Now you could say, well, Kendal, that's all fine and dandy, but I don't have any sex. I don't have good, bad, or indifferent sex. As a matter of fact, I got nothing. This is what I got. I got my hand. I got this toy. I got some thoughts in my head. I have my favorite porn channel that I watch, but I don't really have the sex I'm looking for, because, sex is definitely better with two people than with one. I mean, when we're coming together in any situation with two people, anything gets better, right? This is where we come together. We are people who are designed to connect, to unite, and this is how we expand our pleasure. This is how we expand our growth, our thinking. It's not just the sex, it's just two people coming together in any place that two people stand in the same feeling, the same alignment, the same emotion, the same thought. They unite. There too, beautiful miracles can happen, beautiful growth can happen. Everything comes from the unity of us as human beings, right? But we can always have sex by ourselves as well, just like we can make money by ourselves. We don't necessarily have to have the support or the connection of another. It's just not, it's mediocre and meh, it's just not as fulfilling as it can be when we have the right stuff line up, right? So let's just say you don't have a partner that is willing, because I'm talking to couples today. So let's say you don't have a partner that's willing. Let's say your partner just says, I just don't feel it anymore. I lost, my libido's just down, or I'm just not that into you, or just for whatever reason, I'm just a no. So this hurts us. This makes us feel really, really shitty, right? It's like, what? I want to be desired. I want to be loved. I want to have the connection. I want to have all of this good stuff that sex makes me feel, that this intimacy with my partner makes me feel. What are we saying in that? That is now taking the sex and turning it into a need in a relationship so that we feel something. This is why sex causes us so much problems, by the way, because in this belief structure, we're not believing that we're worthy of the pleasure. We're not believing that we are desirable. We're not believing that we're lovable. We're not believing that we, then all of this lack of belief of and desire and appreciation and good stuff. When we don't believe it, we're also then creating the scarcity of this thing that we think will achieve us the result that we're looking for, which is, I want to feel worthy. I want to feel loved. I want to feel appreciated. I want to feel intimacy. I want to feel union. I want to feel connection. I want to feel desired. I want to feel happy. I want to feel good. I want to feel relaxed. I want to feel I want to feel that really yummy, juicy, great feeling. And I need you to give me, I believe will get me there. So you should want to give that to me, and you should want to feel that as well. And that's great. But if you don't, then could you just spread your legs for me and let me get mine anyway? I know that little last part might have been like a what, right? Because that's not what we want, right? That's not ultimately what we want. The sex, the intimacy, the love, the desire, all of that, in order for us to actually feel it, in order for us to actually appreciate it and have it when we are talking about with a partner, it means that the partner is willing, okay? Willing, not doing it from duty, not doing it from guilt or from shame, not doing it because you bought the biggest, baddest flower bouquet that's sitting now on the table and the most expensive bottle of wine that you could afford, and went, hey, here you go, let me give you a little foot massage, now spread them, babe. No, that's not what you're ultimately going for. At least I hope not. I hope not, because if you are going for that, and if your expectation is that, realize that that has nothing to do with love. That just is a self-gratification move, and you are basically trying to force somebody into giving you what you want, not actually having them want it. They are not completing the situation and stepping in with their desire. They're completely raping themselves in that moment, okay? I know I took all that yumminess and I just went, boom, dropped it right there, right? It's like, oh, she's talking about this, she's talking about that. That's not so fun. And here it is, Valentine's Day, and I just spent all this money on these flowers, and they're getting delivered at lunchtime, and all her friends are gonna see it, and oh my gosh, she's gonna be so excited, and I have reservations at this restaurant, and what's the motivation? What's the agenda behind all that beautiful stuff? Because it's all beautiful. All of that's yummy, all that's beautiful. All of it can be extraordinary if it is an alignment to what both are wanting. Our sex causes us problems because we use it as a measuring tool of if we are worthy, if we are desirable, if we are lovable, if we are, appreciated, we measure these things that we want to feel by how much sex we are getting, not by the heart-centeredness or the actual truth of our partner. There's so many other things that we can look at that can make us feel that way as well. Okay, it's not just the physical act of sex. Realize that there's multiple things going on with sex. You can have sex that just feels like this, empty, and then, as one of my favorite statements from one of my old partners is, pump, pump, ooh, goo, and we're done, and it's empty. It's empty, and it makes your partner feel like disgusting meat that just got used. The other day I was talking about turning your partner into a fleshlight. Well, this is the same scenario. It's just like, are you using your partner? Is your agenda just to use your partner? Are you looking for a need to be filled by this physical act, or are you actually wanting intimacy and connection and truth from your partner? Do you want her to, or sometimes the guy, I'm just going with general here, okay? Because sometimes this is flipped, where the woman is doing all this stuff and trying to get the guy to have more sex, and the guy's completely turned off for whatever reason, and the woman's doing it. But in general, 85-90% of the time, this is man going after woman and woman denying man, or woman giving sex out of duty, out of guilt, out of shame, out of just shut up and leave me alone. Let's get this over with. You got 2 minutes, 3 spins of the ceiling fan and you're over and you're done with. And then she's like, thank you. Does that sound rich, fulfilling, fun, gratifying at all? Connective, intimate, truthful, desirable? Do you feel wanted in that? If she's like, 3 spins of the ceiling fan, come on, let's get a move on. Like, no, don't go down on me. No, don't touch me. Let's stick it in there, come, and let's go. Let's go. You can have tons and tons of sex like that, and that's not going to get you what you're looking for. That's empty, completely empty sex. And worse yet, it is traumatizing to both partners, extremely traumatizing. It's going to make both partners have questions around their worth, around, love, around desire, around, their safety even, and trust, respect. And we have things such as bitterness that rises up. We have, I deal so much with couples, and they'll come in and the guy will say, I didn't know that she felt this way the last 23 years. I wish that she had said something. Were you ready to hear it in the last 23 years? Because I'm pretty sure she probably let it on. It's not like she was really probably going, oh yes, baby, and going after you. Oh, maybe occasionally, like once a year. Okay, so once a year she let go of her bitterness and came after you. What happened the other however many times you had sex in a year? Was it just you pushing and her going, okay, just shush it and get it over with? Because you need to get real with yourself. If your partner is not wanting it, there is a reason for it. And the more you focus on the scarcity of not having the sex, the bigger the wall is, because you are now building a resistance to the sex, because you're focused on the not having instead of the good traits of your partner, instead of where they are showing up, instead of the good things that they are doing. Okay? Wherever attention goes, energy flows. What we focus on grows. Okay, what we focus on grows. And if we're focusing in on not having sex, then we're going to have definitely less sex. And if we focus in on, I just want my partner to, give it to me whenever, and then we start pushing for it, we're not focusing in on connection. We're not focusing in on intimacy. We're not focusing in on love and appreciation. We're not focusing in on fulfillment. We're not focusing in on joy. We're not focusing in on what we're really truly wanting. We're focusing in on, I just want more sex. So just pump, pump, ooh, goo, give it to me, and I feel loved in my pump, pump, ooh, goo. No. You have to get real. You have to get real with yourself on that. When sex is done right, back to that yummy, scrumptious, gourmet, just, touch the big toe of God sex. What makes that? What brings that about? That's what you're actually wanting, right? You're not wanting to get this, you got to come to the point of like, I am lovable. I am worthy, and I don't need somebody to spread their legs or to do some sexual thing to me or for me to make me feel lovable or worthy. You were born lovable and worthy. Anybody's reaction to you, it should not, if you want to really truly be a mature human being, a healthy and solid into your core person, then you have to take everybody else's opinions off the table, and you have to just have a knowing inside yourself. Okay, that's a lot of growth. That's a lot of inner work. That's a lot of expansion work, and 99% of the population never gets there. And maybe 20% does their work around this and actually really gets close to really grasping this and living in it 75% of the time or more. The truth of the matter is that we all ebb and flow on that, right? Because life does happen. But when we use another person and another person's sex to make us feel worthy or loved, we are now gaining our worthiness and love from a physical act. I mean, would you feel worthy if I washed my hands for you? Well, no, right? No, that's crazy. But the sex doesn't even feel as good as washing your hands when we are putting that kind of expectation on our partner. If we want that gourmet sex, if we want that depth, if we want that touching the big toe of God, that divine, luscious, yummy, deep expansion and orgasm and true connection where, like maybe it's this heart-shattering, beautiful ravishing of each other's full beings. What does a full being mean? That's not necessarily your full body, although that should be your full body, but it should be of the body. It should be of the mind. It should be of the emotions, and it should be of the spirit. When these four things come into alignment, now I'm not saying that we have to think exactly like each other here. That's not what alignment means. Alignment does not mean that I feel exactly the same way that you do about something, that I think about something the same way that you do. that the same touch turns me on, that turns you on, that I have the same spiritual belief structure as you. No, that's not alignment. Alignment is that we can really come into the center point and understand that that's what sex is about. True sex, gourmet sex, this unity of each other is about the unity of spirit, mind, emotion, and body. And if we can come into it with, I am expanding myself and I am helping expand you through the unity of us, and not with the expectation of that you've got to do anything for me or that I got to do anything for you on this, but it is this beautiful dance together where we expand each other, where we elevate each other in love, okay? In love. Now, this is where we tap into this expression that we're all wanting, this emotion that we're all wanting, this feeling, this sensation. This is where we shatter this thing that we have here that we think so much negativity with, that we get caught up in our day-to-day with. We shatter it in energetically, and what we do is we experience our truth. We experience our divinity through the sex. That's what touch the big toe of God means, is that we are experiencing our true divinity through the sex. It's a beautiful, beautiful place, but the alignment of two people must come together in this. It's not just going to happen to try to force this. Oh, if you have sex with me 50 times this year, then we're going to experience that. No, or it's not going to, you try to force it, it's definitely not going to happen. This is an organic process. This is where everything just starts to line up, and it doesn't just happen with, a little bit of baby foreplay and a big bundle of roses and a bottle of wine and a dinner date. No, that's not going to get you into the alignment. The alignment comes from a feeling, from the emotionalization of it, from the energetics, the connection of two people coming together, and then slowing the fuck down and taking the time with each other, not rushing the process, taking the expectations off the table. When we have expectation, we are now setting up resistance to what we are actually wanting. You can go, I expect to just give love. I expect to just be present as much as I can. And my expectation of myself in this moment is to share this moment as authentically as I can with the least amount of ego stepping into it. I just want to experience the moment. Now, when we have that expectation, that's one thing. We're expecting now greatness. We're expecting, just this opening experience. We're not going, I expect the sex to last like this. I expect her to spin 3 times, do reverse cowgirl on me. I expect, blah, 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 blah. If I deliver this, that I get a blowjob on the way home. No, none of that. That's expectations that's now setting a resistance tone to the situation. It's need-based, it's expectation-based, it's ego-based. It's not coming from the heart center, from the love center. It's not coming from alignment. Alignment is when we take the constrictions of expectation off and we focus just in on connection, on true intimacy, on the revealing of self, and allowing ourselves to witness another person in their most beautiful raw state, and to be witnessed in our most beautiful raw state, which happens during deep, intimate love making. We elevate ourselves in it. We don't destroy ourselves or our partner in it. The problem that sex causes for so many of us in today's world is that we don't elevate, we destroy. And we do this because we're not in alignment. We have an expectation set on our partner. We believe that they should do these things for us so that we can feel a certain way. We're turning over our power to the sex, and we're now blaming our partner for the way we feel. They're not in charge of the way we feel. That's what we have to realize, is that nobody's in charge of the thoughts we think, the feelings we have, or the actions that we make. That is our choice. That's our choice, just as it is their choice to make a decision on however they want. Now, here's the beautiful thing. You can say, oh, well, that's all fine and dandy. I kind of understand some of that. I don't really know what the hell you're talking about. Blah, blah, blah. Why am I sitting here and listening to you anyway, right? I get it. I have a lot of people that I'm working with right now who are in this exact situation. And here's the thing, what we can do to help align ourselves to our partner. I can give you the advice here now. That was all the stuff. Now here's the advice. The advice is you get in alignment with yourself. You get in alignment with your power. You get in alignment with being in love with yourself. You get in alignment with knowing your worthiness. You get in alignment with just feeling fucking good in life and being appreciative for life. Like, have that joy. And I don't mean faking it, because you know what? You see how great the faking it's gotten you so far in your sex with your partner, right? It's bullshit. When faking it happens, it just, it's yucky. It's just plain yucky. Well, God, universe also feels that way about it when we try to fake our appreciation for life, when we try to fake our love for ourselves, when we try to fake our belief for worthiness and stuff. Fake it till you make it. No, that's not, no, find something. And gratitude, appreciation is one of the easiest ways to go about this alignment process. So focus in on the gratitude, on appreciation, and focus in on it on something that's easy to be grateful for, or easy to be appreciative of. Don't actually try to do this work where you're struggling, where you've got the hangups, where you've got massive resistance to something. Do it where you don't have massive resistance, and everything else will follow, okay? Including your partner. You get into alignment, and guess what? The best chance you got of getting your partner there with you is for you to get into the alignment. Because if you are in alignment and you can hold yourself in alignment for a long enough period, which means start appreciating your partner, okay? Just appreciate your life. Put appreciation on your partner. Start looking at your partner with appreciative eyes of gratitude, of unconditional love. Noticing how great they are, noticing the little things that you're doing, speaking those little things, sending appreciative thought and feeling toward them instead of bitterness because they're not spreading their legs for you, because they're not showing you that you're loved, they're not showing you that you're worthy of something, they're not showing you that you're desired. Start appreciating. If you put your focus on appreciation, it will shift the whole energy dynamic in the relationship. And when you start to shift the energy dynamic in the relationship with appreciation, guess what happens? That partner typically, not always, typically will start to see things differently, like you. Oh, look at that. If they start to see you differently, what could possibly happen here? I mean, like, what honestly could possibly happen? Well, they might start to desire you. They might start to fall more in love with you. They might start to want to feel you again. They might want to spend more time with you again. They might make a suggestion of like, hey, they might come on to you. Who knows? But I can tell you what, as long as you're focused on the lack of the sex, as long as you're focused on the bitterness of not getting what you think you rightfully deserve, as long as you are focused on that you need this for worthiness, that you need this to feel loved, that you need this to feel desired, that you need them to assure you of this stuff, you're going to have resistance there. And that resistance will prevent you from what you are actually wanting. So focus on something that's easy to be appreciative of. Focus on something that's easy to find joy in. Focus on something that is easy to be happy over, that is easy for you to feel good about, and keep your goddamn focus right there. Keep it right there, hold to it, and then start to send appreciation to your partner, and that will attract your partner to you. It will attract your partner to you. Now, I said most of the time. Here's the reverse side of that, just so nobody ever comes back to me and says, well, Kendal, you said if I did this for a long enough period of time. Number one, don't put a fucking timeline on it. If you're sitting there going, how long is this going to take? How long is this going to take? How long is this going to take? Why aren't they showing up the way, she said if I started appreciating them, then they would start giving me the sex that I want. What are you doing in that statement right there? I mean, what is that? That's a hell of a lot of expectation, right? Not to mention, that's not truth. That's not really looking at appreciation. No, you're looking at a timeline. You're trying to get a goal met. You are creating more resistance. It's not going in unconditional, Okay, unconditional means no timeline, means I'm not going to look for the evidence of you not doing it by pointing the finger and saying, why aren't you doing it? Okay, that's not going to get you anywhere. In alignment means to stay in alignment and focus on the evidence of the good stuff that you really want to focus on, not of the lack of. Okay, and timeline, take it off. Timeline is going to screw you up. Timeline is going to put a massive resistance in there and make it not happen for you, okay? So anytime you're going, how long is this going to take? Realize that you are guaranteeing that it's not going to happen. And that is not just with your sex. That's with your money. That's with your health. That's with your career. That's with your kids, shaping up. That's with you finding the house of your dreams. That's with you finding a job of your dreams. That's with whatever you are, those goals, those dreams, those desires that you have. When you're going, how long is this going to take? You're looking at the resistance pile and you are just adding to it and you're making sure that it doesn't happen. So take that away. Take that away. Biggest challenge that you'll have. But when we focus in on the appreciation, sometimes our partner doesn't ever come around. Sometimes our partner doesn't ever come around, and that can be scary. That it's not a 100% guarantee. But what is a 100% guarantee is that by you focusing on the appreciation, by you staying in alignment with love, with worthiness, with joy, with happiness, when we stay in alignment to that, we will attract to us those that match that frequency. Okay, so we may lose our partner in the process, and that might be a stinger, and that might be scary for some, and not something that you want to think about on Valentine's Day, but it's the reality, and that's just the way I operate. There you go, realist here. Sometimes it's going to mean that you're going to lose your partner over the long haul, that you've done everything you possibly can, but still that person is that resistant to the process, and they're just not they're not in the flow of who you are, who you've become, and where you're growing. What will happen is that you will attract a new partner into your world that is in alignment with who you are, that is in alignment with the joy, that is in alignment with your worthiness, that is in alignment with your love, that is in alignment with the intimacy that you want to have, that is in alignment with the connection that you want to have. You will attract that person in. That, I will promise you, that will come. But it will probably come with the price of losing your partner. Now, most of the time, if you can keep your mind off of the clock, keep your mind off the expectations, and focus in on the appreciation, you will gradually nudge in love your partner into the frequency that matches you. Because they will start to see the shift in you. They will start to see the change in you. And they will fall back in love with your energy, because you are no longer squishing them down and pushing them away, but you are pulling them in and elevating them in love. Okay, tomorrow I am teaching a class with my beautiful sister-in-law Coral and her mentor Erica, and we are going to be talking about how to quantum leap your love, your sex, and your abundance. This is a free talk that is going on tomorrow. I'll make sure that the links go out again. You're going to see that kind of popping up all over the place. I'm very excited to be teaching this class. We're going to be talking on stuff like this right here, except I'm going to go a little bit more into depth. I'm going to pull in finances and abundance into it as well. I'm an advocate believer that the same programs that we hold around our sex, we also hold around our abundance factor, and they both are, good and bad. Those are the two things that really can shift our worlds. And when we start thinking one way about something, well, chances are those programs are lingering in the other department as well. So we're going to do some beautiful work around quantum leaping that into exactly where you want it to go into 2020. This is going to be absolutely amazing talk. They have already got, they're entering into day 3, and then tomorrow is the bonus call with me. So I'm very excited about that. Look for the links to come out on that. You are also going to see that that this next week I will be teaching a updated version of one of my very favorite classes. So excited about this. Guys, you should be excited about this because I have not taught this class for 4 or 5 years, and I'm just excited to be able to offer it again. I'm doing it as a global course. It is on early bird discount for right now, so look for it, grab your spot for it. We will be teaching the class next week, and this is not your average Joe. This is where I'm going to be teaching all of you awesome gentlemen out there all the secrets of female sexuality. I'm going to teach you about stamina. I'm going to teach you some tantric tips and tricks about how to last longer, how to please your woman better, how the energetics of it, understanding a woman's not just her sex but her emotions, how to stand strong in your core as a man, and how to really truly not be an average Joe in life or in the bedroom. Of course, we don't want you an average Joe in the bedroom. Did you know that the average man lasts 2 to 10 minutes in penetration time, and it's just this back and forth thing that doesn't do nothing for nobody? Okay, and yeah, it's quite pathetic. And yeah, so we're gonna be talking about, not to turn this into an average Joe talk, but we're going to be talking about that, those pieces and so much more: intimacy, connection, desire, worthiness, sex drive, skills, ideas, energetics, female sexuality, male sexuality. I'm going to give it all to you. This is an intensive class. You're going to get all of the online training that has already been created for you in my program format, plus you're going to get live updated training for it coming out as well. So look in the comment section for Not Just an Average Joe. Click on the link there, get the early bird class, and make sure that you get registered for that. You will be receiving a link to the online workshop shortly thereafter. All right, I think that that's it for right now. That's it for right now. I'm going to go have another cup of coffee and have an awesome Valentine's Day with all my favorite men, meaning my sons and the guy that I am in relationship, Mr. Steve, who I can't believe isn't on here. Where the heck is he? Anyway, I love you guys, and I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. Have a fantastic Valentine's Day. Have a beautiful Friday. I hope you got something from this Conscious Coffee. Know that your worthiness, your lovability is not wrapped up in your sex. Those are not things to really measure with how much sex you're getting. You don't need the sex to be worthy. You don't need the sex to be lovable. You don't need the sex to be appreciated, to be desirable. You're already all of that. And if you will just start believing that of yourself, then the best sex of your life is waiting for you and will come your way. I love you guys. I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. Bye, everybody.